that's an extremely frustrating part of having a criminal record.
Yeah.
The court can grant your seal and expungement, and what's amazing at that point is if you get a background check done and a private company returns that information that was sealed or expunged, you have incredible remedies, civil remedies. You can sue them up to 3 times of your damages. And on top of that, private attorneys love to take those cases because they are really cut and dry. They can sue for attorney's fees, and David will tell you, like, that's where the money's at.
Right.
The problem is, this is all having to do with what your legal options are. But in the eyes of society, yeah, I mean, if somebody Googles me right now, they're gonna pop up exactly what you're talking about, Clara.
You're a top criminal. Yeah.
And so there's a couple schools of thought here, and believe me, there's like bills that are being written and people that are trying to get remedies for that. But the biggest culprit is, I think it's called mugshots.com.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy, this is ridiculous, but the guy who started that was actually given a cease and desist. He started making deals with people because they would get their records sealed and expunged, and they would contact his organization and say, look, the court sealed and expunged this. Can you take it off of Google? And he would start charging them money to do it. So there's that, and I think he's still doing it. But the court at one time, they ordered that he can't do that. He did it anyways. He ended up facing criminal charges, and the most ridiculous thing is the man who started mugshots.com is now on mugshots.com because of his refusal to comply with the court. What do we do about that? I don't know. I mean, that's like the crooked card game, but the only game in town. And if the guy's not willing to do anything about it, I mean, it is a private corporation. We've always recommended that you contact them. They do have like a contact me link, and you can email them and just be prepared. I mean, they might ask for some money in order to take the information off.
Well, there is another option. Some of
Yes.
you or all of you may be aware. The problem is it's very expensive, and that is there are companies today. One of them is reputation.com. And what they'll do, of course, these are in instances where the individual does not have an expungement, so there's nothing they're legally able to do at that point.
Yeah.
But what you can do, what these companies do, they utilize complex algorithms, and what they do is they are able, through these algorithms and through certain steps they take. Let's assume your name comes up in a Google search, and in the criminal case of yours is shown on pages 1 through 3 consistently, but after that, it doesn't appear on pages 5 through 9 through 12, however many pages that your name would come up in one form or another. And most of us have a name that others share too. So there's other people with our name. Anyway, when you do this Google search and you're using one of these services, what they typically are able to do is have the bad information, meaning any reference to the criminal case, move to the back end of the Google search. And I define that as maybe on pages 6 through 10. The idea being that anyone who's going to look at you, they're not going to have the patience to look through, pages 6 through 10. If they don't see you in any negative light in pages 1 through 5, you'll be good. The problem, though, is these companies charge literally $5,000 to $10,000 to do this. I mean, it's very expensive. And I've examined it, and I've researched it. There's like no way around paying that kind of money. It's not as if the only way you could is if you found an individual who worked for one of these companies who's now freelancing, and you happen to know this person, they can kind of do you a favor. But in terms of working with these companies and signing a contract, very expensive. They are able to achieve this, but of course, still it's appearing on your record. Well, I say record in a Google search. It's just appearing very far down the line, which for many is satisfactory. Their view is employers, people who you're dating, or if you don't want to bring it up, they're not going to likely find it on page 6 through 10. But there's no guarantee of that either. You might, some people will scroll to pages 6 through 10. So it's really, but that is a big business now, actually, particularly in situations where you have a lot of people who through identity theft and other, I'm not even talking about with criminal convictions, but other types of situations. They were unjustly marked for something negative and they want to clean it up because it's not even them. That's a lot of the clientele as well, but certainly a lot of the clientele are people with criminal records.